My name is Ashley Waters, aka Asher D, of So Solid Crew. I started on pirate radio many years ago in like 1998. So my first radio station I was on was called Supreme FM. It was based in Brixton, and it was run by a guy called Patrick G, who's a lot older than I am. When I first started on radio, I was using the name Asher. I was given the name Asher. My actual name's Ashley, as you know, but I was given the name Asher just came about from my younger cousin. Name Asher D was given to me basically by Patrick G. This is when I first started MCing. So I kind of So Solid existed before I started MCing with them. I used to listen to them as a fan myself and ended up sending in a tape to the same radio station that they was on, so I could start my career. When I got there, there was another person called Asher that was on another radio station who was much more popular than me at the time. And he kind of heard my name, heard our radio station, and kind of rang up and said, you can't be calling himself Asher as well, there can't be two Ashers. So the radio station guy just came to me and was like, just put a D on the end, man. So that's how Asher D came about. But then later on, as I got older, I realized, and with Google and stuff, you know, I type in my name, and there was another Asher D, who's a reggae artist from way back in the day. It's called a group called Asher D and Daddy Freddy. So that's how the name came. There's nothing better than kind of performing on stage. I've always loved that. It's a passion of mine. Getting instant gratification from the crowd. You know, the filming process is a lot different to the music process. When you're doing music, you make a track in the studio. Literally within hours or a couple of days, you can be on stage performing it and get the instant reaction from the crowd and what they think of it, and then it's done. Do you know what I mean? Whereas filming is a long process. I've just finished a TV show. It took me 4 months to film it. Now I'm gonna have to wait another 6 months before I can see what the end product is like. So it's a completely different, I don't know, discipline, I suppose. But yeah, I love it. It was really good getting back with the guys and kind of performing on stage. As I was saying before, like, we're a lot older now. We all got families, some are married, kids, you know, like back in like normal jobs, some of us as well, innit? So to get that feeling back and to be doing that thing again was amazing. It was a good look. I get sent a lot of scripts. You put yourself on film for a lot of jobs, reading scripts or whatever, or go out for meetings for a lot of scripts and whatever. And, you know, out of I'd say like it's only 10% that I've gone for that everyone sees me doing. The other 90% I failed and didn't get the parts and whatever. So you spend a lot of time going for meetings a year. It was just lucky that that 50 Cent thing happened. Like, the director is from the UK. And I'd just finished Bullet Boy then, and he'd seen it, so called me in for a meeting. I came in, he made me read the script once of the part, and then asked me to rap. So I spat 16 bars into a camera, and he sent that to 50, and it was off the back of that 50 said, yeah, picked me for the part. So literally, like, I didn't hear about it for another like 2 months or something like that. And then I got a call at midnight from my agent saying, pack your stuff, like next 3 days you're flying out to the States to shoot this thing. So I went out there for 4 months and just shot the whole thing with them. It was a good look, man. The minute you think you've had your big break, or the minute you think you've made your success, is when you stop being hungry for it, and when you stop, you know, trying to progress yourself as an artist or as a person. So I'm quite happy to be always thinking that there's something better than what I've got now. And in the words of my father, like, there is no perfection. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people strive for something that's perfect that doesn't exist, so I'm not looking for that. But yeah, I'm happy to always kind of up the levels every time I do something. So whatever it is, I could do a film with Denzel Washington tomorrow. After that, I'd still be looking forward to doing a film with Will Smith or something. Do you know what I mean? Top Boy was like a baby of mine, a project that I kind of worked closely with in production before it started, and helped to handpick a lot of the other members of cast, because we felt like I stayed clear of doing movies that were about the hood or about the ghetto or whatever for a long period of time after Bullet Boy and a few other things I did, because I didn't want to get put in a box, so I was trying to do different parts and different roles. But when the writer of Top Boy kind of put the scripts on my desk, it was like, It was amazing. It's something that we haven't seen on TV in a long time. The whole point of the show is not to, as a lot of people feel, is to glamorize violence or a certain aspect of a lifestyle. It's more about giving a slice of life. A lot of the stories that we base Top Boy around are true stories that have happened in and around East London, and we kind of put them together. And it's basically about promoting the fact that these things are actually happening on a daily basis, sometimes next door to you, and you don't even know about it. You know, people can be growing a weed farm in your council block and you haven't got a clue, or, you know, bagging up drugs and whatever and doing their thing. So we're trying to explain to people that this is happening, and pretty much we need to shine a spotlight on this as to what we're going to do about it and make it different. I think what I liked about the character of Duchesne is that he's still a likable person. He isn't trying to, he wants to make that sort of money from what he's doing without having all the negativity that is surrounded by, which we know is an impossibility. But in his mind, he wants to change that, you know, that stereotype or that stigma that is attached to being a drug dealer. So he's a very calm, collected, methodical person that thinks about what he's doing before he does it. And I think that represents a lot of people that I know that are in that position. But the sad thing about it is that if you become Top Boy, you know, there's always someone that's willing to take you out of that position to become Top Boy himself. And so the saga continues. Kano's a very good artist. I've always respected him as an artist musically before he started acting. And I feel, you know, like I read with a lot of different people for that part. And I was kind of the one that made the decision that it had to kind of be him. But he's devoted and dedicated to making everything that he does the best it can be. So he's willing to listen, he's willing to learn when he doesn't understand it fully or as much as others, you know, take advice. And I think he took control of his performance, like, in an amazing way. I give him a lot of respect for that. Series 2 he's upped his levels, is even better, you know. So yeah, I mean, but as a person in general, we just had a lot of fun. Like, there's a lot of banter and just a lot of fun on set, man. So hopefully that shows in the series as well. First and foremost, you know, as everyone can probably see, I'm black. Like, I don't hide that. I can't hide it. But it works against you at times. I think, you know, I've been quite lucky to not have too much negative experiences when it comes to the colour of my skin, but we all know that the ratio between white and black people on TV is completely different. It's a huge extreme. What I've been battling is kind of closing that gap. That's going to come through people like me writing, producing more, directing more, and being in a position of power that we can bring more people in and bring new talent up. And that's what my whole thing's about. So I think those have been the biggest hurdles for me. Not being put in a box, not always playing the guy with the gun or the mugger or the robber or the guy in prison, but trying to diversify and being Sinbad or being Doctor Who or, you know, being period dramas and stuff like that. That's the aim. And the advice I could give to anyone else, I mean, the only advice I could give to anyone else is that you know, if you're dedicated to being an actor or a musician or whatever walk of life it is you want to do, the only difference between you and the people doing it is the fact that the people doing it probably never gave up. I always use the example of like Morgan Freeman. He only came into his own right, I think it was in his 40s, maybe nearly even 50, before he became a proper superstar, even though he'd been acting a long time. Samuel Jackson, the same thing. If they'd given up years before, you know, 3 years after it hadn't worked or whatever, we'd never have those people as inspirations now. So there is no time limit. God has a plan for you. When it's your time, it will be your time. You just got to be prepared when that time comes. So focus, you know, and that's it. You can see me next at ONOLondon, yeah? Ink Club, 25th of August, O2. I'm going to be down there repping. I might bring a few people with me, surprise faces and that, so watch out for that. But me, myself, Ashley Waters will be down there in the place, 25th of August, O2, ONOLondon, yeah?